Hello ride-on people. I'm probably going to have to shoot this video in one or two, possibly even three parts, so bear with me if you're watching another part and the intro is the same because I've been a bit lazy and reused it. But we're back from Barber Motor Museum in Leeds, Alabama. It's the largest motorcycle museum in the world. They have about 1,500 bikes on display at any one time from over 200 manufacturers, and it's officially the largest display in the world according to the Guinness Book of Records, and they have something like 250,000 square feet of floor space to present the vehicles on, and it's spread out over 5 floors, so you definitely need half a day there minimum, and if you're a connoisseur, probably more like the whole day if you can get there to visit. But I'll stop my rambling and let you have a look at the bikes. This is only maybe 1/10 of the bikes that's currently on display, but it really is jaw-dropping, so hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. My personal favourite motorcycle of all time is Honda's iconic RC30, the VFR 750R. It is an HRC masterpiece, and to me never surpassed even by the RC45 that followed it. This particular example is in the beautiful red, white and blue. It had a very high first gear, and the remaining gears were all spaced about 12 miles per hour apart. It was a proper race engine and a proper race bike. It's the very first bike that was a race bike put on the road ever. The rest were just replicas, the rest were just had a lot of race parts thrown at them. This was the opposite. This was a genuine race bike put on the road. You just put lights on it and a tag plate, and away you went. It's won everything going, particularly in World Superbike, with Merkel early on, and then Fogty at the TT, and just a stunning, iconic model, and I just wish I had one in my garage. Back in 1992, Honda produced the NR750, also known as the RC40, I believe, and this thing was just unbelievably special. I believe at the time it cost £37,500, which is about $50,000. This is back in 1992. Why is it special when it looks pretty much like a VFR? Well, it is a V4. It is based kind of on a VFR type engine. But the reason why it's so special is its uniqueness. This was a time when Honda were just at the top of their game. It was them waving a phallic symbol to the rest of the world saying, we are the best production engineers in the world, and don't you ever forget it. Why is it so special? Well, they used a lot of materials that were truly exotic at the time. So the conrods were titanium, and there was 2 of them per piston. The pistons were magnesium, and they weren't round, they were oval shaped, and the valves, they weren't 4, there was 8 per cylinder. I mean, this thing was just off the chain, crazy trick. This thing was so fly, it was ridiculous, and so expensive as well to replace if anything got damaged. I believe the screen had a special titanium coating that cost like £6,000, so it's like $10,000 just for the screen in 1992. This thing was incredibly special. It may have looked a bit, it may look a bit dated now with its Testarossa style scoops and its fat rear end and its long wheelbase, but believe me, this thing was unbelievably special at the time, dripping with exotica and carbon fibre and titanium and magnesium, the likes of which were just unobtainium in the early 90s. 1993, Yamaha GTS1000. This had quite a few innovations, not least the Omega chassis concept, the Omega style frame, and noticeably its single-sided front swing arm type suspension. Very unique. I actually got the opportunity to ride one of these bikes in 1993. I was actually impressed by the engine, which was based on like a Yamaha pre-X up model engine. Had plenty of power, it was very comfortable, it was very fast, but that front end definitely felt heavy and was a little bit slow to steer, and it was really trying to solve an engineering problem that didn't really exist, and Yamaha soon stopped using that and started building more traditional type tourers like the FJR. 1994 Ducati 916 Sena, very pretty machine, obviously dedicated to the late great Ayrton Senna, and becoming quite rare nowadays and quite collectible. 1994 Ducati Supermono, made in Italy, obviously, liquid cooled single cylinder 4-stroke, 550cc, 260 pounds, 150 mph. Before Ducati produced their V-twins, they were renowned for their single cylinder sports bikes, and the bevel driven twins of the 70s were virtually two singles on a common crankcase. The Supermono was built to compete in single cylinder class road racing, and is virtually a modern twin with one cylinder removed. The second connecting rod operates a balancer weight to reduce vibration. It is thought that Ducati only built 30 Supermonos, but this one I noticed was actually labelled number 39. It is an achingly stunning race bike, and very, very pretty for its particular era of the mid-90s. 1996 Britain V1000, a water-cooled 60-degree V-twin 4-stroke, 160 horsepower, 985 cc's, top speed of around 190 mph, and really words cannot describe what a small team of talented engineers in New Zealand achieved in creating this machine. The Britain's novel and original designs setting new trends in chassis and suspension technology. Sadly, John Britton, the team lead and chief designer, passed away in late 1995. He built only 10 machines, and this is number 7. Britton won the World, British, European and American Racing Series Bears in 1995 and had many successes on the racetrack. Stunning looking machine and a wonderful engineer. 1997 Morbidelli V8, a liquid cooled V8 4-stroke, 120 horsepower, 150 mph, around 550 pounds of weight. Giancarlo Morbidelli had considerable success building and racing motorcycles of his own design, including winning a 125 World Championship, defeating the factory entries. His dream was to build a superbike, a V8. This bike is one of the 4 prototypes which Morbidelli had hoped would be mass produced, but lack of consumer interest centred mainly on the controversial styling, and that really killed the project ultimately. 1998 Jawa Ice Racer, 493cc, 2-speed transmission. Ice racing is a very popular spectator sport in Northern Europe. This Jawa is specifically constructed for this type of racing, using speedway components, and the unusual shape of the left handlebar allows incredible lean angles with the rider's elbow scraping the ice. 2-speed versions of these machines are known as long track models. 1999 Harley-Davidson Captain America. This chromed and raked panhead chopper is a replica of the machine that was featured in the movie Easy Rider. There were actually 2 Captain Americas, one being a backup bike in case one of the old machines failed or got wrecked. One was demolished in the final scene, and the other believed to have been dismantled for parts for their significance, before their significance as a movie prop became known. This is a circa 2000 BMW R1200C. It's a bike that actually Willie G from Harley Davidson indicated that he liked the design because it was one of the first cruiser bikes made by another manufacturer that wasn't a direct copy of Harley Davidson machines. It wasn't that popular, but there was quite a few sold in Europe and in the States, and it's a shame that BMW didn't persist with this type of model, as the low maintenance shaft drive and the boxer character and reliability are endearing to their owners. And I think if BMW produced a more modern version of this bike, it may sell quite well in the current market with average ages of riders increasing. 2002 Gezi and Brian Super Twin 1100. This is a 5-speed box with 425 pounds weight and around 150 mph. The Gezi and Brian are two Italian enthusiasts with a passion for building exotic race replica sports bikes using Moto Guzzi power units, or Guzzi if you prefer. Their prototype was the surprising winner of the Italian Super Twin Championship in 1996, which created a demand for a similar machine. The Super Twin is 100 pounds lighter than a stock Guzzi sport bike, creating improved performance. The standard of workmanship is outstanding, a brilliant example of European artistry in metal. 2002 Gurney Alligator A6. 330 pounds and around 133 mph from its 708cc engine. Brainchild of famed car racer and passionate motorcyclist Dan Gurney, the Alligator is the latest example of recumbent or foot-forward design. As a high-performance, lightweight street bike with outstanding comfort and aerodynamics, the Alligator is unique and elevates this type of motorcycle to a new level. A similar concept was pioneered by Nera cars in the 1920s. 2004 BMW C1, a liquid-cooled single-cylinder 4-stroke, 62 mph from its 125cc engine. The C1 was intended to be a crossover vehicle to ease the transition from automobile to scooter, 4 wheels to 2. Safety was the primary concern in this innovative design, with ease of operation and economy close behind. A detriment to sales, apart from the high price, was that Europe could not agree on the helmet issue. Although it has seatbelts, some countries required the wearing of a helmet. Is it a car or a motorcycle? Who knows, but essentially since ceasing production they've become very collectible and a rare oddity. 2004 Honda Ruin, liquid-cooled horizontally opposed 6-cylinder 4-stroke, derived from the legendary Goldwing engine. 98 horsepower, 800 pounds of weight, 125 mph. Based on the Valkyrie model, the Ruin is a radical custom machine, but comes with quality and reliability expected from the world's largest motorcycle manufacturer. Honda made a statement: we can design and build anything better than anyone else, and set new standards for custom motorcycles that can actually be ridden. These techno model cruisers have come and gone since, and I guess the latest incarnation of this is probably the XD Apple from Ducati, and I think it has the potential to be a growing market. 2006 Ducati Desmo Sedici in Alice Racing Spray colours. This is a particularly nice example, and this is a rare bike that was expensive to buy at the time and is a serious investment in the current marketplace. 2006 Moto Guzzi MGS01, 122 horsepower, 423 pounds, 160 mph. MGS01 Moto Guzzi Sport No. 1 is a purposely built production race bike from this old established company. Although still using the venerable transverse V-twin design, an increase in capacity and the use of 4-valve cylinder heads resulted in good power output. This, together with a light overall weight, made it an exciting Italian thoroughbred. 2007 Lakewood Special. This custom motorcycle was built by Atlanta's Hank Young and was featured on the Discovery Channel's Biker Build-Off. The style is retro, starting with the use of a 1961 Harley-Davidson panhead motor. The front suspension is 1940s Springer design, and the rear suspension is controlled by an axle leaf spring from an old 40s Ford truck. A headlight from a classic Essex automobile, and the air cleaner is a radical cap from an old farm tractor. Nothing mass produced, just the use of old parts skillfully crafted to produce a very unique machine. Simply calling this bike a special construction doesn't really come close. 2008 Bermotor Tessie 3D, 90 brake horsepower, 370 pounds, 150 mph. Bimota's Tessie 3D is the latest version of this 20-year-old design. Ducati's power plus the very lightweight gives impressive performance. The Tessies have always featured innovative chassis design. The centre hub steering is more automobile-like than a motorcycle. The front shock absorber is remotely mounted on the chassis using a linkage, all fully adjustable. Together with the exquisite machining and colours, this is a true Italian exotic superbike. 2008 BMW HP2 Sport, particularly nice example of what is arguably the sportiest boxer ever. Extensive use of carbon fibre, this kind of nuclear blue colour scheme on the wheels and the frame made this bike highly desirable. It was only made for a couple of years and it's in very short supply on the used market nowadays, and prices are rising. 2008 Cristini, a water-cooled single-cylinder two-stroke, made in the USA, £255 with an electric start. Now this Cristini is a unique concept in that both wheels are driven. Various power units can be used, in this case KTM, with a drive to the front wheel being mechanically through chains and gears, and that introduces a weight penalty, in this instance over £35 compared with the stock KTM. The American Motorcyclist Association does not allow two-wheel driven machines in competition, but they can be seen in enduro cross events. 2014 liquid cooled 90 degree V4 baby block, 180 horsepower, 126 pound-per-feet of torque, 550 pounds in weight, 189 mile/hour claimed. This is production model number 001. It's manufactured in the original location of the Barber Museum, in actual fact in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. The MSTR is the premium version of the Motor's MST series of comfortable sports bikes and comes with a hot-rodded baby block engine, extensive use of carbon fibre and very high-end components. Inspired by modern V8 small block engines, the mighty V4 baby block is the only V4 built for an American production vehicle, and the MST is the first domestic metric motorcycle, so motors claim, although I'm not sure whether Polaris Victory superseded that. In 2014, Motors set the two fastest land speed records of any American production motorcycle and any production pushrod motorcycle in the world at the Bonneville Salt Flats, and this particular example is kindly donated by Motors Motorcycles themselves. 2015 Kawasaki Ninja H2R, Japanese bike, liquid cooled, 4-cylinder 4-stroke, 300 horsepower. I'll say that again, 300 horsepower, 998 displacement, double overhead cams, supercharger with 20 pound boost, 6-speed box, KYB inverted forks and rear shock, Brembo disc front and rear, 425 pounds and over 220 mile/hour. This motorcycle was an absolute engineering exercise with no limitations, and using all of Kawasaki Heavy Industries engineering resources to construct the most powerful and fastest motorcycle to ever been produced. If you've never heard one of these, YouTube H2R being dynoed, not the H2, the H2R on a dyno, and it is just ear-splittingly loud, and it revs so high, so fast, and is so noisy. It really is an engineering masterpiece. Well, I hope you like this this preview of the motorcycles available at the Barber Motor Museum. Remember, this is probably less than 10% of the motorcycles that are on display, and I would urge you with all my heart to go and visit the museum and support it, and the money that you pay an entry fee will be going to local and national charities, and you'll have a thoroughly amazing day out at the what is pretty much unequivocally and incontestably the best motorcycle museum on the planet.